always about real estate, obviously, but also something that's a little bit entertaining. So I want to talk a little bit about what's in your real estate investor toolkit. So who do you guys think you need? I'm just curious, when you think about your power team, when you think about your toolkit, when you think about what's going to be the difference between making you successful or not, who do you think you need? Who are you planning on talking to? What are you planning on doing when it comes to that? This is the interactive part. Lawyer, accountants, yeah? Title company, yeah, good. Who else? Other veterans, yeah. What else? You said something, sir. Buyers and sellers, yeah, let's make it simple, right? Bricks and sticks, buyers and sellers, love it, that's perfect. Well, one of the things I want to make sure that when you think about your toolkit, you want to make it as diverse as possible. And I want to share this quote from Jim Rohn with you. So some of you guys know who Jim Rohn is. Somebody yell out, who did Jim Rohn coach? Who's the most famous person Jim Rohn coached? Jim Rohn. Anthony Robbins. Anthony Robbins. Oh, yeah, that guy. You can't miss him, right? Yeah, he was Anthony Robbins' original coach. In fact, I heard the story that Anthony Robbins actually went to a Jim Rohn event and basically latched onto him and never let go, okay, until he started his own business, right? So Jim Rohn has some great different philosophies and different sayings, and one of the ones that I loved is this one. He says, you can cut down a tree with a hammer, but it takes about 30 days. If you trade the hammer for an axe, you can cut it down in about 30 minutes. The difference between 30 days and 30 minutes is skill, right? So when you are investing, another quote that I love of his, he says, don't bring your need to the market, bring your skill, right? So what's the difference between you, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? How are you gonna get past that as a real estate investor? How are you gonna grow past that as a real estate investor? Education. What else? Experience, exposure. What else? Networking. Connecting yourself with the right people. Yeah, good. And that's what really Texas REIAs is about. So I wanted to just share some of this with you. Obviously, if you have only one tool in your tool belt, it's going to be a long and tough and unprofitable road for you as a real estate investor. And I talk to investors of all different backgrounds, shapes, sizes, goals. I talk to people who are just getting started. I talk to people who have been doing it for a long time but just have never been able to scale their business, right? So sometimes you get, in trouble or burnt out as you're just getting started because you don't know enough, right? And it takes too long to cut down a deal, if you will, with a hammer, right? And then sometimes I see investors who have been investing for a while, but they're just not getting the income that they know that they can because they're not able to scale their business, and they need other ways to be able to grow it to the next level. Because if you're starting and stopping your business every time you find a deal, and then you stop your marketing business, if you would do, because you're off working on that deal and that's all you're focused on, are you going to be successful? And the answer is, to some degree, you will be, right? But if you are doing everything yourself and the only tool that you have is that hammer, then you may only be doing 1, 2, or 3 deals a year, when in fact you might want to be doing 1, 2, or 3 deals a month, right? So you have to continue to expand your tool belt along the way. And for us, we learned a long time ago that the more resourced you are in terms of your network, in terms of your knowledge, the more successful you'll be as well. But I did hear someone say recently that it's not necessarily about any of the specific resources. It's about the resourcefulness of the entrepreneur. So I just want to applaud all of you guys for being here tonight to build out your own personal resourcefulness as an entrepreneur so that you can gain that level of success you're looking for. And then, again, sometimes investors are not even using the right hammer because they're learning from out-of-state people. So this is where I like to poll the audience. How many of you guys are in university right now? YouTube University. Wow. Yeah. So this is where like I'm kind of in an uncomfortable situation. I have a YouTube channel. Some of you guys are watching it. Great, thank you. But here's what here's how I look at it, and here's how I look at Texas REIAs. We are Texans teaching Texans how to invest in Texas using strategies that work in Texas, right? And strategies that work right now, not 25 years ago. So when you are on YouTube and you're just, listening to, whoever has the best, most subscribers, most likes, whatever, are you looking like, where does this guy live? How many of you guys are like, no, where the person you subscribe to lives? And okay, a couple of you guys, but probably many of you guys don't. And so what does that mean? So earlier, Barb or Barbara said tax deed sales, right? That works really well in states other than Texas. But sometimes, right, when you're listening to someone who's from Chicago, it's like, oh, the tax deeds. It's like, literally, I've seen commercials that are like, I bought this house for $100. Is that happening in Texas? That would be no. Roger that. Right? That's not how it's going to work here. So you do have to be careful from who you're getting that knowledge, who you're getting that information from. I don't claim to be everything to everybody, but I know Texas, right? I'm licensed here. I've been investing here for 2 decades, and I have seen a little bit of every single market that the market has had to throw at me, every single president, every single tax, strategy, all of these different things. So and then I also am aware of all the laws that are here, so it's really important that you are using the right hammer, learning from the right people. And again, for us, we only focus on those Texas investing strategies, Texas markets, what works right here, right now. So what that means for you guys who are investing in Texas is you don't have to sort through a bunch of useless information to pull out the things that you need in order to succeed. We will help do that for you. That's what we do here. And it's something that I love to do. I don't get pleasure out of telling people that, who just watched 8 hours of a specific strategy from some YouTuber in Utah that, oh, geez, I'm so sorry, but that does not work here in Texas. That is a heartbreaking thing to say. And that's why we suggest that if you guys are going to, so we say we live here, we invest here. If you guys are going to invest in Texas, you need to be learning from people who are in Texas. And that's, again, where we will chip in and do our best to make sure that you're getting the best information possible. So you're not fooling your mind with useless information as you're going through and trying to get started. And I will tell you, as you grow your network, as you grow your knowledge, you'll succeed much more effortlessly, much more joyously, and it will happen just quicker, right? So the tip, find the axe, right? Don't just use the hammer for everything. And Texas REIAs has it. So every week we share a tip of the week. I love to have those of you guys who are investing in Texas join us for that. One of the reasons why I love investing in Texas, and sometimes I will see investors who are out of Texas or in Texas and say, and they'll tell me something like this, and tell me if any of you guys have said this. It's too expensive here. How many of you guys kind of feel that way? Okay. All right. Well, that's good. Okay, that's good. Some people, how long have you been here? You grew up here, so to you it kind of feels a little. It's gotten way expensive. But how many of you guys who've just moved here in the last year and have said, "Wow, this is like the 2-for-1 sale. I'm really enjoying this," right? So sometimes I will see people who grew up here, as an example, say, "It's too expensive here. I'm going to move my money someplace else." Well, let me just say that Texas is like the 10th largest GDP of all of the countries in the world, right? If you can't find a house here that's the right price, you got other problems, right? There's plenty of houses here. There's plenty of opportunity here, and excited to have you guys with me here today. So the next part